All right, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. All right, the brothers that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, not on their own agendas, but uplifting the prophecies, rebuking, exhorting, uplifting the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and feeding the flock, all right, with bread that is needful for the times. Also a blessing to you sisters that do support and watch the truth. I wanted to get into a very, very controversial topic in the form of marriageable age in ancient Israel. What deemed a woman of marriageable age and what age women were given into marriage. Now, this is controversial because of the rape topic in which we brought out in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. All right, that you have 3 examples of rape. And the last one being that if a man raped a woman, all right, he would have to pay the father a dowry and take the woman to be his wife, which is very, very more beneficial, all right, to women than living in a society like this where they're raped and the man goes to jail, all right, and she's roaming free, all right, and she's tainted, all right. Now, to put this disclaimer out, men did not just go around raping women in the ancient world, all right. The marriages were usually arranged through families. All right, marriages. There was order in marriage. However, just like today, rape happens, and the law gives a judgment to adulterers, and also it gives a place. All right, where if a woman is raped, the man who raped her, he would have to take her and take care of her as his wife. All right. Women who were taken in ancient Israel, their value was deemed less. All right. If you already had a husband, virgins were coveted after. That was the hot thing in our culture. All right. You did have instances where women, you know, had husbands who may have died, who had husbands who put them away, and they were able to go and marry another man. That was very few and far and few between. But it did happen. But in the case of rape, the reason why we brought out that law, all right, is because it is in the laws of the Bible. And in case of rape, we have a law to cover the judgment and what should happen. And there's order. All right. Instead of the woman just walking around, the man would have to, if you break, you buy. You would have to take care of the woman. But the problem a lot of people had with that, you know, a lot of people eventually they came to an understanding of it. But the age variation with the woman being 12, 13, 14 was the real issue that men had. Now, when you deal in the scriptures, you must understand that you cannot look at America. You cannot look at what you were taught by the so-called white man as the end-all be-all. You cannot look at Western philosophy, Western culture, and think that you can coincide it with what is written into the Holy Scriptures and think that you're going to get an understanding. All right. You're going to wrestle against yourself and you're going to say foolish things and get emotional. The scriptures are not about your emotions. All right. So I just wanted to deal with this topic, you know, not because we want 12-year-old girls. Look, our wives are old and need help, man. Played out. All right, been with men before us. Look, we're in this dire situation where we need salvation. I'm bringing this out for the edification of those who may not understand why the apostles said 12, 13, 14-year-old women were taken and given into marriage. Now, on a personal level, my grandmother, all right, both of my grandmothers, which are not alive today, were married off at 12 and 13 years old. That was the common thing around their time. The tribe of Issachar, all right? A lot of women are married off at a very young age in their culture, all right? You go out of America and women are married off at very young ages because the purpose of a woman is to bear children, all right? And that is very, very beneficial to a culture. Women play a very, very important role in a culture. They're the first teachers, they're the nourishers, all right, and they are there to bear the children of the man. That's why the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. So before I start this lesson, I would like to say, grow the hell up, man. You know, our people got to grow the hell up. There's a lot of childish, tacky behavior going on, and it's just not it's not a good look, man. All right, we are supposed to be coming into governing the new world, man. All right, a lot of this behavior you guys are exhorting is not that, of a ruler, man. And if you don't wake up and repent, all right, it can be to your destruction, man. All right. America is not the end all be all of life. The way you were raised and what you were taught here is not the end all be all of life. There is a whole another thing we got coming, and there was a whole another way, all right, that we're gonna that we lived before this, man, in the form of the law, statutes, and commandments, man. All right. So, and also in the kingdom of heaven, we're not gonna have to rape women. Okay. We're not going to have to rape women in the kingdom of heaven because everything's going to be in order. Okay. All right. So without further ado, I just wanted to put that out there because people, a lot of you guys know damn well we don't sleep with 12-year-olds, man. You don't find a 12-year-old attractive in this society. You have to understand that 12-year-olds now and 12-year-olds then were a different breed, man. All right. And then we're going to get into the menstrual cycle and puberty and what it represents in a woman's body so that our people can understand what we mean when we say women were given into marriage that young. All right. So let's start here. Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and seek and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? This way that we're living here in America is not the good way. All right. Women have to wait until they're 18 and 19 to have sex. No, man. Even right now, you start getting those feelings. You go through puberty around 12, 13, 14 years old, man. All right. And walk therein. And ye shall find rest for your souls. The wrestling that you guys are having in your soul is that you're trying to look at America and you're trying to look at how things are now, even prostitution. You try to look at how it is now. You look at pimps up, hoes down, and you think that's how it was in ancient Israel. No, man. There's an actual reason to that, man. Which, Lord willing, me and the brother will get into that one day, man. It says, but they said we will not walk therein. And that's our people, man. You refuse to look at the scriptures for what it is. You're trying to look at what you were taught by your enemy, the devil, all right, as the end all be all of what life is. And it's just not true, and it's not right, and it's not conducive, and it's not beneficial to us as a nation to be like that, because it causes dumb, stupid arguments, man. You had all of these arguments about the rape doctrine, and then it comes to find out that it's really in the Bible, man. But men will go crazy, go do this, go into the Hebrew, all because it offended women, but they won't do the same thing for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So grow the hell up, man. This is what this is saying, man. All right. But our people don't want to do that. All right. This whole society, everything has been turned upside down, man. Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? So the Lord is going to eventually turn everything back to the way that it was. All right. Now, let's get here. Genesis 1:27. It says, so the Elohim created man in his own image. All right. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So we were put here to be fruitful and multiply. All right. So getting into the scriptures. All right. Oh, and this is an example. Childbearing in the ancient world was very, very important. Women weren't like they were in America. All right, talking about I don't want no kids. No, the women of the ancient world wanted to bear children. That was the fulfillment of being a woman, was for them to have children, man. All right. This is an example. This is Genesis 30:1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, all right, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. So she's threatening to kill herself if she didn't have any children, man. So that lets you know just how serious childbearing was amongst the women of Israel, all right? Psalms 113, and we'll get into the lesson. Psalms 113:9. He maketh the barren woman to keep house and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. So women, the primary role of women is to bear children, all right? Now, in this society, that is looked down upon, all right? That's turned upside down. What the hell? You know, women want to be referees and, you know, run up and down basketball courts, come in between two boxers fighting. Don't you know that's a sin in the Bible? Her hand should be chopped off technically, you know, but hey, you know, this is just the world we live in now. All right, now we jump to the story when Isaac met Rebekah, all right? This is Genesis 24:15. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. Now, look at this word, damsel is the word that we want to go into, all right? Naira, all right? The word, all right? You see here, a young woman, all right? Girl, damsel, female servant, all right? Girl, damsel, little girl, all right? A young woman, all right? Marriageable young woman, okay? And what makes a woman marriageable in Israel, all right? If she passes the flower of her age, her cycle, all right? And what is a cycle? We're going to get into that, all right? It says it can also be referred to as a concubine, all right? Or a prostitute, which was something that Israelite men got into, concubines and prostitutes. And the thing is, you guys really don't understand history. You don't study, all right? You don't understand. You look at pimps up, hoes down, and you think that's how prostitution was in ancient Israel, man. No. All right? You know, Lord willing, me and a brother will get into a lesson on that topic. But no, man, you don't understand, man. There's reasons for things. Everything that Yahweh Shemiah Shai has set up on the planet Earth, even if it rubs you the wrong way, it is made for his purpose. All right? It says, okay, maid, female attendant, female servant. Okay? But it says a young woman of marriageable age. All right? Now, also we saw the word bathwala, all right, for virgin, which means she had never been touched. Whereas alama was a woman who was of marriageable age. But also naira, all right, is a young woman of marriageable age. And what makes a woman of marriageable age? First of all, what is marriage in the Holy Scriptures? We know that it is sex. Okay, marriage isn't getting on a knee. All right, now there was actually order to marriages. Okay, most marriages, like I said, were arranged through families. All right, but you had the rape law, where if a man raped a woman who wasn't betrothed or married to another man, he would have to take her to be his wife and pay the father the dowry. But let's get into what is a menstrual cycle, because maybe brothers don't know. Okay, what is a menstrual cycle? Hint: it is more than just your period. We're not gonna get too far into this. The menstrual cycle is a series of changes a woman's body goes through each month, whereby the ovary releases an egg and the uterus prepares for pregnancy. Okay, now the purpose of sex, all right, is to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, when all things are in their order, women will be given into marriage younger than older, because everything will be flowing in its natural order. And as we showed you, women's one of their primary roles is to bear children, and that is very, very important in our culture. All right, which is why, like I showed you, um, um, hold up. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that point. All right. So a menstrual cycle in a woman's body represents that she is ready to bear children. All right. Puberty. Okay. It says puberty is the process of physical changes through which a child's body matures into an adult's body capable of sexual reproduction. Okay. Be fruitful and what? Multiply. All right. It is initiated by hormonal signals from the brain to the gonads to the ovaries in the girl. And what happens? She gets horny. She starts to get that itch. So as it happens in men. The testes in a boy. In response to the signals, the gonads produce hormones that stimulate libido, and the growth of function. And what is libido? Libido is known as the sex drive. And you know, you brothers getting them pills, them herbs that deal with libido. You know, your tribulus, your Tungat Ali, you know. You have various herbs that Yahweh Shem Yahushua put in the earth. And only in a society like this do we have to rely on things like that, you know. But that's another topic. All right, so we're getting the understanding that a woman of marriageable age means that she is ready to produce children, ready to have sex. All right, and we'll get more on it. All right, menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is the regular natural change that occurs in the female reproductive system, specifically the uterus and ovaries, that makes pregnancy possible. Okay, so the purpose of sex in the ancient world was not just lust, you know, and to the feel of it. Yes, it was made for pleasure, but the purpose of this was to reproduce and have children, as Yahweh Shem Yahushai intended on us to do. Okay? Now, when you go down, it says the first period usually begins between 12 and 15 years of age. Okay? A point in time known as the menarche. All right. They may occasionally start as early as 8, and only in a society like this will they start as early as 8. You got a story of a 9-year-old having a child, because this system and the ecosystem being out of whack, the food being out of whack, it throws the woman's system off, man. All right. You got women having menopause at 30, 34, you know, in their 20s, you know, so everything's all messed up. But the point of this is that the first period comes between the ages of 12 and 15 years old, which is why you hear the apostles use that wording of a young woman at around the age of 12 in the ancient world were given into marriage. Now, whether it rubs you the wrong way or whether it doesn't matter how you feel about it. This is how it was done. All right. And we're going to return to this in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, yes, women will be young and given into marriage and be bearing children in their young age, man. They won't be waiting around for no husband. And no, man, everything is going to be set, man. Now, to add, you know, which will show you in 1 Corinthians, not all men who were betrothed to these young girls had sex with them, you know. But it's not a sin, as Paul said, if you did, all right, if she was burning and you were burning. All right. Some of the men took the women and pretty much had them come up under the elder women and learn and mature to his liking. Okay. But the woman is ready to bear children. The Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, when he created the woman, did not make a mistake that she was ready to bear children at 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. All right. If he wanted it to be older, why wouldn't he have made it to where it started when she was older? All right. Now, getting more scriptures. All right. So we got that in about the damsel. So Rebecca was a damsel of young age. When you read about Mary, she was of young age. with Joseph. The men were older, and we'll show you that in research. All right, Ruth chapter 2 and 3. All right, and 5. And then Boaz unto his servant said Boaz unto his servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel is this? Talking about Ruth. Ruth was of a young age. All right. She was called, she was a damsel. Same word. She was a young woman. Whether she was 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. It doesn't matter. In this society, it would be deemed underage. And your mind, your feeble mind, all right, if she was 13, you would think that Boaz, our forefather, was a pedophile, man. No, this is just how it was done in those days. So here it is. You see, damsels are written in the scriptures. Let's get the story of King David. King David, when he was on his way out. Okay, 1 Kings chapter 1 and 1. Now, King David was old, so he's an old man, right? And stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. Wherefore the servant said unto him, let there be sought for my lord the king a young virgin. Okay, a young virgin. It emphasizes on a young virgin, man. Let's look at this word young. Never looked that up. Oh, it's the same word. Naira. All right, beautiful young woman. Let me look up the root word. Youth. And the root word, you look youth, man. But you go back, so they sought to get David in his old age a young virgin. It says, so a lot of you guys really are westernized, man, and you don't understand the Holy Bible. It says, and let her stand before the king and let her cherish him. What does cherish mean? I ain't looked this up before. All right. Kakan, all right. To be use of service, to profit, benefit, acquaint. You see that here. Servitor, steward, to be use of service. All right. To be used. All right. So it could have been a prostitute. Could have been a young woman. Who knows what it could have been. All right. But she was young. Okay. Because we know that word, naira, can also be referred to as a servant or a prostitute. Who knows? But the bottom line is she was young. And it says, and let her stand before the king and cherish him. Let her lie in thy bosom, that the Lord King may get heat. And heat meaning you still, got your libido, you still got your testosterone is still flowing, you still, up there. But when you get so old, that stuff goes away, man. It says, so they sought to a fair damsel. All right, same word. All right, this is your forefather who you claim to believe in, but then you scoff at the fact that the apostles and elders bring this information out, man. You can't even get deep with Jake, man. You can't get basic into actually how, because Jake's mind is stuck in America, man. And again, I'm not bringing this out to say that it's okay to sleep with 12, 13, 14. No, man, you can't do that, man. All right, and these women, these young girls ain't the real young girls, man. All right, they all messed up, man. Okay, and defiled. Okay, the women of the ancient world were nothing like this, man. The earth was in its fullness more, man. The food was more full, They were taught, to be women. Being a woman and bearing children was the thing. These women are just, messed up by the music and lost in the sauce by reality TV, So it says, so they sought a fair damsel throughout all the coast, and found Abishag, a Shumanite, and brought her to the king. All right, what is a Shumanite? Salaki, I just wanted to know for myself. Inhabitant of Shuman. All right. So it says, and brought her to the king, and the damsel was very fair. I mean, she looked good, and cherished the king and ministered unto him, but the king knew her not. Okay, so they brought her to him, and they seen that he wouldn't get heat. They brought this pretty girl around him, and he couldn't get, and they that's how they knew that the king was pretty much on his way out. All right, now when you look in the New Testament, the word damsel is used as well, and it tells you the age of a damsel. Okay, now it says, and straightway the damsel arose and walked, for she was of the age of 12 years. Okay, so damsels and they were considered women, all right, ready to be married at the age of 12, 13. We're going to get you some more in the research, man. It says, and they were astonished with great astonishment. So it lets you know that the damsel was 12 years old, man. Now, we went into puberty, all right, showing you that, it says puberty is the process. Yeah, we went through that. You go here, it says, on average, girls' begin puberty around 10 or 11, boys around 11 or 12. Girls usually complete puberty around 15 to 17. All right? Now, I know you're going to have some childish monkeys on the comment board, But, hey, it is what it is, man. We just got to go through it. Now, let's see here. All right, menstruation and fertility. It says the first menstrual bleeding is referred to as the menarche. It typically occurs about 2 years after the thelarche. The average age of the menarche is 12.5 in the United States. All right, most American girls experience their first period at 11, 12, or 13. All right, so here it is. That age that the apostles threw out there was biblical, man. All right, and it goes with the flow. It goes with the way that things were in the ancient world. Women typically started to be ready to bear children and had children in young in age. As I said, my grandmother and a lot of your grandmothers had, and your great-grandmothers had children and were married to men who were older than them at 12 through 15 years old. All right? Most American girls experience their first period at 11, 12, or 13, but some experience it earlier than that. All right, so enough of that. Now, let's get into, some sites. All right, this is BibleOdyssey.org. Sometimes I look at these different sites to get particular historical facts and values. They go off. You got to be able to pick out the bones and eat the meat, But this is wedding and marriage traditions in ancient Israel. It says marriage in ancient Israel was very different from marriage today. Although there is a great deal we do not know about Israelite marriages, the biblical text that speaks about it tells us that many Israelite marriage custom was unlike those in Western societies. And this is what you guys have to get in your mind. Esau even knows that, man. All right, it says, for although girls were expected to be virgins when they got married, and according to Deuteronomy 22 and 21, could even be put to death if they were found not to be. All right, now let's jump to the point here. It says, most likely girls were married around puberty. Okay, and we just told you what puberty was, man. All right, and the earth was running natural in its natural course back then. More natural than it is today, because after the fall of Adam, everything declined. All right, but the earth was more in order. All right, so the bodies of these women were flowing the way that it was supposed to flow. All right, so most girls were married, and sex is marriage. Okay, the custom in Israel was they presented themselves, to the public in the form of a party, a reception. Today we call it. That's where Yahushua turned water into wine, and then that night, all right, was consummated by sex, and the fathers was paid his dowry, and there was certain orders within the marriage, all right. But it says girls were married around puberty, whereas men were somewhat older, okay. Thus, unions were generally based on more economic or social considerations than romantic ones. So back then, it was more of a business, okay? It was more considered in marriage than just, ooh, you got a big booty. You know? That's another thing to consider, man. Everything is pretty much out of its course. Now, let's get this. Ancient Israelite marriage customs, all right? We're just going to jump to the point in this one. It says the wife was to be taken from within the larger family circle, usually at the outset of puberty or around the age of 13. So we see that this is the age in ancient Israel that women were given into marriage. And even in a lot of these Hamite cultures, women, you know, like Saneter and them went crazy over it. But in these African setups, they marry women off at a young age, man. You know? It says, so here we go. And this is based off study. They do the study, man. You know, they ain't just niggas sitting and trolling on a comment board or scoffing on a comment board, man. You know, they actually look stuff up, although they're off. But, you know, you look through some of the stuff, you're like, okay, well, Esau looks things up, man. All right, it says, in order to maintain the purity of the family line, but she could not be too closely related, as shown in Leviticus 18. So we see again that age of puberty. All right, and what is puberty in a woman? A menstrual cycle, which lets us know that she is ready to bear children. All right, now in the scriptures, a menstrual cycle is known as flowers. Right, now a lot of people, all right, let's see. Leviticus 15, there you go, 15. All right, and 24. If any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days. So you ain't supposed to have sex on your period. But when you look up this word flowers, nada, all right, impurity, filthiness, menstruation, menstrual cycle. All right, now a lot of people scoff at the understanding of the scriptures for what? I don't know. I don't know if they want people to feel comfortable with the scriptures. I don't know what's going on. But let's get 1 Corinthians 7. Because Paul gave good advice dealing with virgins, all right? And let's get an understanding of what he's saying, you know? This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 25. Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord, yet I give my judgment. As one that have obtained the mercy of the Lord to be faithful. Paul was giving good advice. You know, he didn't come out of the commandments. He came through the Spirit, okay, on this topic. That's what he's saying there. Verse 28, I'll just jump. But then if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. All right, sex is marriage. If a virgin marry, she sinneth not, okay? And what is this word virgin? I never looked that up. Parthenos. Bam. A virgin. A marriageable maiden, a woman who has never had sexual intercourse with a man, one's marriageable daughter. Bam. Okay, so what is marriage in ancient Israel? What is it I do? What consummates a marriage? Sex, you know. So the virgin doesn't sin. If she's of marriageable age, if she is going through puberty, if she has a period, and you have sex with her, and she has sex, in our custom, it's not off, man. Now let's jump down. Let's see. Let's jump down to this verse, verse 36. It says, but if a man think that he behaveth himself uncommonly towards his virgin, all right, because he's going through how you're going to have trouble in the flesh, you deal with women. All right, now when these young women start burning, all right, you may have a woman betrothed to you and you're like, I don't want to, you know, have sex with her yet. You know, I don't want to deal with her like that yet. All right. But if a man think that he behaveth himself uncommonly towards his virgin, all right, of marriageable age, if she passed the flower of her age, now a lot of Jake likes to say this isn't dealing with the menstrual cycle, man. All right, but even if you saying that this is not dealing with menstrual cycle, this word virgin, as we looked up, all right, is a woman who is of marriageable age. What determines whether a woman is of marriageable age is if she's on her menstrual cycle, man. And this is talking about in the ancient world, because that let them know that she was able to bear children. That's how Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shai, set it up, man. If you got a problem with it, that's just on you. All right? So if she passed the flower of her age, all right, and need so require, some men say the flower of her age is when she's 60. You know, some men just go crazy. It's like, why are you guys so emotional, man? This life that we're living, this existence that we've learned, is not true. It's not right. Stop holding on to it, man. Okay, and it's just for truth's sake. You know, right now we're dealing with these women, you know, 30s, 20s, and 40s, and have been with 80 men. No, in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be your wife's first, okay? And only. It's going to belong to you. It's going to be yours, okay? And you're going to bear thousands of children. How do you think in the kingdom of heaven we're going to repopulate so fast, and one shall become a thousand in a strong nation, all right? Because women are going to be reproducing, man. Everything is going to be working in this order, man. Okay? It says, and if she passed the flower of her age, and need so require what? Need so require to clean up? No, man. Need so require to have sex. Remember, he said it is better to marry than to burn. What are you burning to do? You're burning to have sex. That's when those hormones release from the brain to the ovaries to let you know it's time to get it on. And she starts to get them feelings. He starts to get those feelings, man. That's what puberty is. And need so require to have sex. Let him do. Let's start over. But if any man thinketh he behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not. Let them marry. So, and he goes and gives more, you know, advice, but that's letting you know, I mean, you know, what else can this be talking about? You know, you got men going crazy, doing all sorts of breakdowns because this offends woman or this challenges the status quo of America. No, man. Get with the program, man, and understand that this whole existence is going to be destroyed and it's upside down, man. All right, so, you know, hopefully that was enough. You know, it's deeper that I can go into it, but at the bottom line is, you know, I just wanted to do this for those who may have been, you know, confused or, you know, trying to, you know, we just bring these things out because there's a lot of things in the scriptures that would seem crazy if we brought them out, man. Come on, man. You know, but, you know, we've proven that, you know, the rape doctrine was put there for just in case rape happened. The rape law, Salakia. We've proven that marriageable age in ancient Israel was when a woman had passed the flower of her age, when she went through puberty, was able to bear children. We proved that women's purpose in Israel, one of the main purposes was to bear children. Very important to a nation, all right? And, you know, if you guys want to be emotional about it, go ahead and be emotional. But the truth is the truth, man, all right? So all praise to Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, blessings to the elect. Shalom.